Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. And I have another video to update you on some things might be happening on crypto. And first of all, if you are not watching and part of the Tom's Army, you definitely need to get into the description of this video, click on Tom's videos, and subscribe and join the Tom's Army. Definitely want to watch those videos. They do have a lot of value. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to understand Tom because he's trying to cover all the bases and sometimes uses technical words that we might not understand. But end of the day, guys know a lot. Sometimes he just doesn't share everything that he knows. So Tom, thank you. And again, I watched your last video. I love it. You're becoming more and more like an open book. It's becoming more and more easier to understand you, and I really appreciate that. Also appreciate that you're starting to set stop loss targets for people, even though I personally don't believe in stop losses because that's telling market makers where they should knock me out. Second, if they're going hunting for stop losses and I don't have one, they don't get me out of a trade that I want to be in. But a lot of people do need those stop losses because they don't have enough of experience to trade without. A lot of people don't even have paid trading view, so they can use alarms instead of stop losses, and then those alarms can actually trigger and let them know they actually review their charts and then make a wise decision want to sell or stay in. So because of that, if you're not using TradingView and alarms on the TradingView, you definitely need to use stop losses. You cannot go without either or. You have to at least have one. So that is my opinion. Tom, thank you, and looking forward to more changes. And um, that's about all I'll say on a public video. In private, I can share some more. Now, let's get back to what's happening in crypto. Very not often you guys going to see that I'm sharing about other coins other than Bitcoin because whatever Bitcoin is doing right now, rest of the coins do follow. If Bitcoin starts going sideways, is only then when crypto starts actually, other coins start actually reacting and running around on their own. So, what actually been happening in the last, I don't know, day or so, when we had this big drop and we kind of went sideways, and today, a couple hours ago, it tried to break down and it then came back out. This is a confirmation, from my point of view at least. This is a confirmation that we are in a shoulder area. I might be wrong, but always ahead when it comes down it's supposed to drop a little bit lower than the shoulder area trading, just to confirm. And like we also had right before we came up, we bounced into the lower area. We also did that as well today, so we have confirmed. Also, second thing that I have noticed, as you guys can see, the drop was bigger here. Here we had a smaller drop, which is also my personal opinion. Again, we're going to have a shorter shoulder. I might also be wrong, and we might turn around and go back to 45. I do not know, or maybe 42, 2.5. But what I'm seeing, it did print out that drop, showing us that we are in a shoulder area. Now we have a possibility of doing a trade while it moves sideways. I do not know when we're going to break out of the side movement to up or down. But in the side trading, if you feel comfortable and using the trading instructions I provided in one of the earlier videos, you can definitely make some money in those trades. But make sure your fees are reasonable. Don't go in if your fees are 20, 30, 40, $50 on an entry. My personal opinion is your fee should not be more than $1 on a $1,000 on $1,000 trade. If your fees are more than $1, don't do it. It's just not worth it because you're not going to make enough of money to cover the fees, much more turn something into profit. So we do have a possibility of some side trade, maybe a day or two, maybe half a day. And then from there, if I am correct, and we have a compressed shoulder compared from the left side, then we will either break down or actually go to up. I don't believe personally, let's put it this, there is a less than a 10% chance we will break up. There is 90% chance we will break down, continuing in a downtrend. You might ask me, but what about Slavic? You bought a trade right at the tip of the bottom. Yes, I entered into a short trade right at the bottom, almost at the tip. And right now, as we stand, I am about $8 upside down. But I also calculated that if we get to 45,000, I'll be only about $100 in a risk. So I'm willing to take that risk that if we travel down to 30 or lower, I'll also get a decent reward. Now, what I'm also planning to do, if I get more confirmations that this is becoming 100% down flight, and as long there, I will be still be able to buy it higher. I might actually double up, which I'll turn that 500 into another at another $500 and turn it into $1,000 trade. At the same time, I will average my entry price higher, which also will increase my return as we travel down and uh, have a possibility of raising. I do not recommend using that exercise because it is risky. Because what if I am wrong and this does turn around right now? My $100 that I was willing to lose turns into $200. Kind of getting that idea. So sometimes it's very risky. Over the last couple of months, I've tried various different tricks, including doubling up, and a lot of times those doubled out turned out to be a huge loss for me. So not the best idea, but sometimes it's a good idea if you're 100% sure we're falling down and you're still high enough to actually turn that into a worthwhile double up. What else I can say? While we're going sideways, there is a possibility of coins actually running around and actually Doge, Algo, ADA, and I believe Dent. Yes. And then actually going and hitting their high targets. The targets are very easy to be read. What you're looking on a daily chart, which you actually can do on any other chart, and you're looking for that high, the last high that they were at. And this is actually that would be your target. Same thing on ADA. The last high, the ADA did came up, but it kind of barely didn't touch it all the way. So we might consider that as a double top and ignore the ADA. But some of these coins never did hit the top. So 93 cents on Algo would be your target, roughly about. Doge would be a roughly target about 23 cents. Of course, all those coins can go a lot higher because if you look at some of the coins, let's say XRP, The target was 67 cents. They went all the way down to 76, and some even believed the target can be as high as 80 cents. So, can XRP actually go to the 80 cents? While Bitcoin is going sideways, yes, all those coins can still have a potential target. And Bitcoin actually trying to actually get back to, I do apologize. I have very loud notification on my phone. But Bitcoin has trying to actually get back to, let me see, as I remove the alarm. No, it's fine. Actually, Bitcoin is trying to get into its trading target to be leveled up to where its left shoulder is. So it's not breaking out. It's just trying to get into the region of 40,000, 40,200 area to trade in. So nothing alarming. Everything's fine. So where was I talking about? Doge. Same thing with Doge. Yes, it can take off on Doge. Will it take off on Doge? Do not know. Now, if it does take off on Doge, the new targets for Doge can be 25 cents, 25.4 cents. Can also be new target 27.6 cents, as well as 29 cents. Now, as Tom does, and I will do something similar to what Tom does. And Tom, I do apologize if I uncover some of your secrets. Slightly angled, and we can do the same thing from here, and draw all those out, all those lines. The further high you go, the more angle it is. The lower you are, the more level angle would be. So like this one right here, we would be going leveled. This one right here in between, and you kind of run it, and you kind of create yourself the target. So that if I were to do what Tom does under this angles, the target would be somewhere in the area of 26 to 28. Um, Tom, let me know if I'm right on the money on this one. And I know you hold a patent on your secret tool, so I cannot really say it's mine because it's not, it's yours. But hey, but it's an interesting way of approaching, and you're pretty much, well, what exactly you're doing is you're setting a EMA or EMA from these points at a various different, like, 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, 6. But instead of, going back that many candles back, you're saying, hey, from this candle, I want a 200 or a 300 MA. And then that, and that's what it is. The closer is to the price, the more even the line is. The higher is from the price, the more slanted the price is. That's the way, at least, how I understand that works. Again, I have a mechanically engineered mind, so anything that somebody shows out there, the only way it makes sense to me is when I able to break it down into a mechanical form. So that's about all I can say on that topic. So next couple days, I'm pretty sure will give us a clear indication where we're going. But right now, like I mentioned, we are in a left shoulder. Come on, I'll go to 1 hour, so it'll be easier. Doge. Actually, Doge is trading higher. So if this would be considered a head, Doge will have to come down and start trading in this area right here, which also indication that Doge might still have that possibility of a run. So that's just keeping that in mind. And Elgo, same thing. Algo looks like already dropped into the shoulder area right here. So I'm not sure if we're gonna have if Algo might be pushing back up out of the shoulder area, but it is right now trading in the shoulder area. Ada still has not dropped into the shoulder area, so still questionable. Dent has not dropped, and if you guys look through a lot of coins has not dropped to the shoulder area. So um, there is a possibility they might actually go for that double top. Now, as long as Bitcoin is willing to hold off these coins, the longer the Bitcoin we're willing to hold off, the higher the more of a chance all those coins actually doing the double top and then coming down to the shoulder area. Otherwise, we might actually have if Bitcoin continues to drop down, we might actually have a very tiny shoulder and then collapse. So stay safe, stay smart, be wise with your money because they're your money and only your money. And you're the only one can make the right decisions. Blessings to all.